I'm so thrilled to let you know of the birth of my new talk show, The Elephant in the Room. Here we address the unaddressed, amplify and uncover all the facts, truth and perceptions surrounding closeted and unspoken subjects, all the people don't talk about. If I'm not here alone, I'm here with a guest or two, and you can definitely count on relatable content, free advice, tips and tactics, all served here for your consumption. Your meal is served. A very wise man I'm privileged to be acquainted with often says to me, nothing binds you except your thoughts, nothing limits you except your fear, and nothing controls you except your beliefs. Hello everybody, I'm Stacey, your host, and this is the elephant in the room. Today's elephant is the church question. So before I address this elephant, I'd like to pose a question to you, dear listener. What are the consequences of a family or a couple not being in sync about church? People tend to say our differences make us unique. Our differences bring us together. Our differences make us who we are as a unit. Opposites attract. But what consequences do these differences bear when it comes to church, when it comes to religion, when it comes to beliefs? Food for thought. Growing up, you were part of a family, if you're still growing up. And growing up, you were part of a family if you're grown up now. And this is the family that you're born into. And in most cases, the family has a traditional way of doing things. The family goes to church every week. The family is part of a certain religion. If a child, a 12-year-old child, an 8-year-old child, a 16-year-old child is exposed perhaps through school, through friends, through peers, groups, through internet, through social media, they are exposed to different beliefs, different churches, different religions, and they feel that they align more with these different churches, with these different beliefs, with different religions. What consequences does that difference have if you're part of a family that has a standard way of doing things, that is a part of a standard church as a family, and you feel differently about the church or about the religion or about the beliefs in general? There's also then your secondary family, which is the family that you're going to build, or the family that you've built already. If you have built a family already, that is in the case where you're probably married and you have children. That's your secondary family. And what happens, or what are the consequences of you and your spouse having different beliefs, or condoning different churches, or being of different religion? How does that work? How does that typical scenario where mom and dad belong to two different religions or belong to two different denominations, how does that work? Which church are the children going to attend? Does one of them have to make a compromise? Does mom have to attend dad's church? Does dad have to attend mom's church? Or do you have both churches being part of the family? How does that work? And what consequences does this difference in churches, difference in religion have on the actual union, on the actual family? Because in the long run, you're going to have instances where there's certain events or certain beliefs of a certain church that don't actually align with those of a different church or a different religion. And in this instance, are we really saying that the difference is making the family unique, or is making the couple unique? Are we really saying that these opposites are attracting and yielding positive results and positive impact on the family or on the relationship? So the other day, after the release of the first episode of the ER, that was Human Tendencies, where we were addressing the elephant, the weight of living, somebody approached me and said, you really brought out a strong point where you talked about this weight in just waking up and in being alive because of societal expectations. But when all of this is said and done, what do you think is a way to live better, or to handle or carry this weight a little lighter, and find joy or find happiness in actually waking up each day despite societal expectations that we may or may not want to abide by or live up to. So that question has inspired this opinion of mine that I'm going to share on the church question. I believe that at the end of the day, when it comes to churches and religions and denominations, it's a group of people looking for a way that best suits them or best aligns with who they are or what they believe, a way to communicate with the Almighty. They may have different names for the Almighty, they may have different ways of communicating with the Almighty, but essentially the goal is the same, and that is to communicate with the Almighty, to live up to Scripture, to follow the Word. And as much as different churches, different religions do it differently, the ultimate goal is the same. So as an individual, whether you're a parent or whether you are a husband or a wife, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you're just an individual looking to find a partner, and you're considering whether you or not you can bear to be with somebody or to be part of a family that attends a different church or is part of a different religion, the essential thing is to sit down and look at what your beliefs are as an individual, to look at what your goal is when you seek a church or when you seek a religion, and ask yourself, is my partner, is my family, is my spouse seeking the same goal? Do they have the same beliefs? And if their beliefs are different, in what way are they different? And what are the consequences of these differences? Because it's totally possible to exist in a world where we are all different, which is typically the nature of human life. So you find that you could actually be of the same religion. You could all be Christians in a family. You could all be part of a certain church, and you could all be attending that church every week, but you could actually have different beliefs. So the essential thing here is to do an introspection of the beliefs and goals, spiritual goals of the next person, of the family. It would be good to learn the ways of different churches. It would be good to learn how other religions do things, how they go about things, but just making sure that these differences don't come between the family, don't come between the relationship. You don't have the situation where, because I feel this way, because this is what the church says, I cannot conform to what you think because of what your church says. You then have to be willing to be accommodative, as well as to actually talk about it. Talk about the potential differences that this common difference might yield. Talk about the circumstances. Be purposeful, knowing that this is the ultimate goal. We share the same goal. So we can perhaps merge churches. We can perhaps attend your church other weeks. We can attend my church other weeks. Or I can give up being a member of my church and I can come and be a member of your church. Or you can do vice versa. It's possible, really. That's food for thought right there.